happy to welcome students from London Secondary School, Kigonsera High School, and Pyramid Girls High School to this special debate which has been organized by an NGO called Songea, Mississippi. Songea, Mississippi has been running a series of events for all this week in Songea. One of these events is a school debate competition which we are going to do today. May I take this opportunity first and foremost to introduce the high table so that we know who are the leaders seated in front of you. We'll start from our far right, and each one will be standing and introducing him or herself. Sir, you're most welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Majimaji Selebuka. Welcome all of us. My name is Majimaji, a history teacher from Pyramid Girls.
Good morning, each and everybody. Good morning. My name is a teacher from London. I'm teaching English and Geography.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Kavuzanduru Peltetua from London.
Good morning, students.
Good morning.
My name is Taimu Mwasandende from Pyramid Girls High School. I am a history teacher.
Okay, start from there.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Thomas Makwaya. I will be with you in this event.
Morning, students.
Good morning.
My name is Joseph Charlie. I'm from Songea, Mississippi.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Samike Wasamike, Mississippi volunteer.
Morning, students. My name is Sabino Signoni, Songea, Mississippi, Village Executive Officer.
Good morning, students. Good morning. My name is Dennis Kibona. I'm from Kigonsera.
May I take this opportunity to introduce to you my special friend and the vice chairman of Songea, Mississippi. This is no one else except Professor Julian Marcusson.
Habari za asubuhi. Hawa mnashangaa mzungu anaongea Kiswahili. Good morning. As Dr. Nabarro said, my name is Julian Murkison. And I'm a college professor from the United States, from Millsaps College in Jackson, Mississippi.
Last but not least is myself. My name is Dr. Damas Ndumbaro. I'm the chairman of Songea, Mississippi. We have appointed Mr. Kibona to be our MC for this event, because me and Professor Julian will be the judges. Therefore, this is a competition debate. Get ready for that. But before Mr. Kibona takes the floor, we all know that there are two questions, is it? Yes. There are two motions. We will tackle only one motion today, but we are not sure which one are we going to do. We'll do a raffle. Here, there are our two questions, number 1 and number 2. I will request Mr. Joseph Chale from Songea, Mississippi, to control the raffle. What we are going to do, we will appoint 1 lakh student, 1 lakh student. The 2 pieces will be thrown on the floor, and that 1 lakh student will come and pick one. If it's number 1, it will be a motion number 1. If it's number 2, it will be a motion number 2. Now, who is the most luckiest student in this? Let me choose the most luckiest. Ladies first. Okay, open and tell us the number.
It is number 2.
I'm sure, order please. I'm sure you can believe that she's the luckiest, is it? Yes. Now, do you remember motion number 2? Do you remember motion number 2? For those who have forgotten, let me read for your benefit. It says, Majimaji was aimed at spreading and strengthening Ngoni regime in the southern parts of Tanzania and not fight against colonialism, German rule in Tanzania. That's the motion. Therefore, we'll be having 3 speakers, a minimum of 3 speakers from each school. A minimum of 3 speakers from each school. And let me now invite Mr. Kibona to organize which one will oppose and which one will propose the motion. Mr. Kibona. Okay, let's see. How many speakers do we have? Let's have 2 speakers from each school. 2 speakers from each school. 2 speakers from each school. Kigonsera, who are the 2 speakers? No, you are not in a t-shirt, Kigonsera? Kigonsera, we said the speakers should be in the t-shirts, yellow t-shirts. No, you should have divided 5 by 5. Yeah.
So for each motion, so it means 10, right? So for those the second motion, so I think it's possible to swap.
Yeah, 5 of them do that. Okay, otherwise, Nyon, do we have 5 t-shirts? You wait. they'll get another 5 t-shirts. Okay, two from Kigonsera. 2 from Kigonsera. Kigonsera, have you confirmed the 2 speakers? Yeah. Those 2 speakers who don't have a t-shirt should go for a t-shirt outside. Yes, let me start with London. Are you, both of you, opposing or proposing? Opposing. Are you proposing or opposing? She's proposing. Now, those who are opposing should go that side. And those who are proposing should go this side. And from Kigonsera, the 2 are they proposing or opposing? One is proposing, another is opposing. We want, are you opposing? Are you opposing? Are you proposing? Yes. And again, Kigonsera will be 1 each, 1 each. Therefore, a team of 3. Some proposing, some opposing. Yes. Which one is opposing? Which one is opposing? That side. And you are proposing this side. Okay. Can everyone be seated now? Kigonsera, can you take your seats? There is no need of a notebook now. If you take a notebook now, you confuse yourself. Nico, mpokee huyo babu, sio anaenda. Nico, mpokee huyo babu. Baadaye kidogo tuna shughuli babu, tutakuona baadaye. Tuna shughuli sasa. Tuna shughuli baadaye babu. Okay, from each group, each speaker will be given 5 minutes, a maximum of 5 minutes. A maximum of 5 minutes. And each of one should speak. We'll start with proposers, the first speaker, the opposers, the first speaker. We'll go to proposers, the second speaker. We'll go to opposers, the second speaker. We'll finish with proposers, the third speaker, and finally, opposers, the third speaker. There will be two judges, myself and Professor Julian, and we'll have 6 criteria. Speakers, pay attention to this. Speakers, pay attention to this. There are 60 criteria. The first, clarity of speech. Clarity of speech. The second, clarity of ideas or presentation. Clarity of ideas or presentation. The third one, confidence. The third one, confidence. 4, mastery of evidence. Mastery of evidence. If you are giving us ER statistics, that's what we are going to assess here. 5, how good is your conclusion? How good is your conclusion? And 6, time management. Have you properly utilized the time allocated to you? You have been given 5 minutes. Have you spent 6 or 7? Have you spent 1? Therefore, time usage and management is our 6th criteria. Now, may I at this time invite Mr. Kibona to take us through. Mr. Kibona, the floor is yours.
Good morning. Just feel comfortable. Don't avoid anything. We start with proposal side. Proposal side.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Max. Good morning. My name is Lassana Mego, and here I'm proposing the motion which has been seconded that Majimaji was taught to replace German in June in Southern Tanzania and not to fight colonialism. That is quite true, as the following point. First, it involved two societies. We can see it shows only the societies found in Southern Tanzania. And if it was fighting against colonialism, it should have involved all the societies found in Tanzania. That is when we get that it was fighting against colonialism. The second point is it had a limited time, but Majimaji took only 2 years, while we know that in fighting against colonialism, we need to have a very long time that it can take a long process. For instance, during colonialism struggle in Tanzania or in Africa in general, we had a long time. It started around in 1890 up to 1861 where we got our independence from British colonial. And the last point is, it was not supported by mass. Those societies from southern Tanzania were only just themselves. But what about the mass from other regions, like maybe in western parts, in western parts, in northern parts, there are no support. So it was only those societies found in here. So we can say that it did not involve in fighting against colonialism. And that's all. Another thing we can say that this Majimaji fighting, it was not supported by allied leaders or in other organizations. For instance, during colonialism struggle, we had organizations like UNO, OAU, and other allied leaders like Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Kambarage Nyerere, who supported the struggle. So
objection on what you have said. You have said it was not supported by mass, but according to the records from the history books and media events, and also the book of history for primary schools called the Historia Afrika Mashariki kwa shule za msingi, it says that more than 26,000 people participated in the war, and that's the number of people who were killed during the war. By that time, and comparing that information with that number of the people, it is a lie saying that it was not supported by mass. So I'm crashing on the board going to that way. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I want to only to assist what the previous speaker speak.
Sorry. The members of the floor should come after the panelists have finalized. Therefore, take down your point and we'll come back to you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, the high table. Thank you, the proposers. Thank you, the opposers, and the majority. Actually, you're trying to lie to us. The Africans, when they were fighting against the change of the regime, when they were organizing themselves, trying to fight against the change of the regime, actually, they were not united. Because we can see this, that they were not united, because some of the Africans, they went and united with the Germans, and they fought against the Africans, their fellow Africans. Therefore, we see the act of those Africans going against their fellow Africans to fight with the Germans against their fellow Africans. It really shows that they were not united, or they didn't organize themselves together. Thank you.
Time is up.
So I was asking, what does that history mean? Something that happened for a long time, or for a short time, or just something that happened? That is my question.
Okay, hello.
Okay, thank you. I'm about to answer this question. I've said that if you want to talk about nationalism, you must have a long time. So Majimaji was not fighting against colonialism because it involved a short time and it was only removing the German regime.
Challenge kule. Kibona. Kuna challenge.
She said about something of colonial regime and colonialism. Can you differentiate those things?
I just want to help my friend proposer that colonialism means a stronger nation just dominating the weaker nation, and the colonial regime just means the whole system of leadership that Germans had to lead and control the Africans and control themselves. That's all.
explained about colonial regime and colonialism. So it is automatic when you are fighting with the colonial regime, you are fighting with colonialism because you are fighting with colonial, the government put it there, but the colonialism. I have a suggestion that you come to this side because you are supporting us.
Mr. Opposer, I'm sorry because from what it seems that you don't even know the aim. You haven't studied very well the history of Tanzania. Let me say that. You haven't studied well the history of Tanzania because it is very open and wide in the website of Peramio. There is a website of Peramio. There is history there's the history of Tanganyika written inside it. It says very open and wide that Africans during that time, they hadn't had the idea of removing colonialism. What they were just trying to do is remove the harsh treatments and everything that they hated in order to live peacefully and to live without. Yes? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. I'm here to support my query. You know, according to your explanation, you said that colonialism is the state whereby the strong nation therefore dominates the weak nation. And therefore you added about what German regime, you said German regime was the whole system on how you said that German regime was the system which the German used to control Africa. Therefore, there's no difference because even when you are saying the system that we are used to control the African, you are speaking of colonialism. You have to agree with this.
I'm trying to think, why don't you just try to understand this very simple matter? If these simple matters you fail to understand, what about the big matters like science, tech, and education you fail? I said that, listen to me carefully, right? Listen to me carefully. The Germans had the idea of colonizing. We are speaking of the Tanzanians, of the Africans, of the Tanganyikans by that time. What were they trying to fight against? They didn't fight against colonialism. So the Germans had the idea of colonizing, but the Africans never thought about fighting against colonialism, and they never thought about it anyhow. But what they were trying to do is fight against the social harassment, the harassment that they were just trying to fight against the things that were done to them, the things that were brutal to them. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And don't again try to misinterpret these things. The ruling of the Germans and the interpretation and the idea of the Africans fighting against
saying the following. You said Africans were fighting for social harassment, which according to the book of medieval history, which we are studying at the level, those are elements of colonialism. So fighting the elements of colonialism automatically is fighting against colonialism because you are not fighting against the impact at the source. What motivated to fight is the impact, but actually we are fighting against the source. So fighting because of those reasons you say is automatically fighting against colonialism. Thank you.
We can consider that during that Majimaji War, it was just to fight against colonialism in Tanzania, while Majimaji War, it was only in Ruvuma region. And it was only the societies found in Ruvuma. And so we say that this Majimaji War was to remove the regime of Germans that was dominated in Ruvuma region.
about people fighting against the invasion of colonialism in Africa. And among the cases studied, Mkwawa fighting. Mkwawa fought only in Iringa region, but still he was fighting against the invasion of colonialism. So looking at the tribes, more than 15 tribes united together, fighting for the common goal, which is colonialism, it's clear and implied that they were fighting against colonialism. And do not say that because they are few, they are not fighting against colonialism. No, the reason does not relate with the number of people participating in the war. Thank you.
Let me ask you a question. What were the impacts after the war? Okay. Simon, explain the impacts of the war. What did they mean? The way you understand, just the way you understand.
The meaning of the impacts of the war is that we Africans, we united together to fight against colonialism. But due to the external factors, we couldn't win. So we had to find another way of winning. We were fighting to win. We were fighting to remove colonialism in our country, in our Africa, in our societies. But actually,
Wape dakika moja kuconclude. Dakika moja conclusion. Dakika moja ili wa conclude kila mpande. Sorry, waongee kwanza member of the floor. Member of the floor sasa. Hata upande mwingine bado. Upande wa pili. Nyinyi msipande wa pili. Bado pia tunaamini.
Actually, the Germans were the colonial masters of this place in the southern part of Tanganyika. So, fighting against colonial master implies more directly that we are fighting against colonialism. That's the first one. Another point, in addition to that, is that actually Germany came here into Africa due to Berlin Conference. These are objectives of Berlin Conference. From the Berlin Conference of 1884 to 1885, one of the objectives were to establish the strict colonialism exploitation into Africans. Into any colonial estate they were given by. And among them were the southern tribes of Tanganyika. So fighting against them, we were fighting against the objective of Berlin, which were colonization. So we were actually fighting against colonization.
If that was the case, we are fighting against colonialism. How did we get into colonial domination? While before that we had our rulers.
The question was, how did we end up under the colony, right? From the history, we all know that colonial came by 3 elements. And when the Germans came, we couldn't resist. So we ended up under them from the treaties and other forced ways they used. But during Majimaji War, we realized that we could rule ourselves. We could remove the colonial legacy inside the southern tribes of Tanganyika. That's why we decided to fight. So the aim of us fighting was to remove the colony and not just the regime. Thank you.
I want to crush both of the points she has mentioned. The first point, she just said that it was land allocation. She's telling us that, she's trying to tell us that the Germans, the Africans resisted the Germans, not because of colonialism, but because of their land, which was alienated. Therefore, my name is Proposal. And the second question, she continued, she added, after the house, she added, saying that fighting against the Germans. She said that her second point was fighting against the Germans. She's trying to tell us that, she explained it with her explanation, trying to tell us that the Germans were fought against by the Africans because of the hatred which existed within the heart of the Germans.
I'm here to object to what you're saying about control of administration. And please, I beg you, next time, be careful of what I say, because you may get something which may change your mind. What I said there about land alienation is among the elements of colonialism. And we were fighting because of the elements of colonialism. So we were fighting against colonialism. About fighting against Germany was our colonial master. So fighting against the colonial master, meaning we are fighting against colonialism and not just the regime. Thank you. I think
are saying that for the case of weapons, because of cultural inheritance, therefore people from Southern Highland, they were used to using those rudimental weapons. But can you see if it was the one way which taught them how to use new methods of fight?
As I told you earlier, as we know that the German were using the weapons like guns. I'm talking about the short spears and arrows. I mean traditional ways.
Therefore, you have to bear in your mind that according to our traditional weapons, those spears and which we are mentioning are among of them.
But we are not herited from the German rule, so that we can say we are fighting against colonialism. We are fighting we were fighting so as to strengthen our regime. I mean, God.
I'm here to object you. Well, the first one, you said well about using spears and others, but those tools were used to fight against colonialism. Yes, because we are fighting against Germans, who were our colonial masters. So no matter what weapon you are using, the fact that you are fighting against Germans as our colonial master implies and give us the answer that we are fighting against colonialism. And another thing you said about freeing ourselves from European people. Actually, yes, we are freeing ourselves from European people. But those European people are the same colonialists who came to Africa. So we are freeing ourselves from colonialists. And freeing ourselves from colonialists implies that we are freeing ourselves from colonialism. Thank you.
The high people, the proposals and the proposals pass the majority. Let me tell you one thing, Mr. Opposer. Try to think like an intellectual. May you try to think like an intellectual, Mr. Opposer. First of all, I'm very sorry for you abusing your ancestors. Trying to mean that your ancestors are very stupid. Please don't. That's your origin. I say try to think like an intellectual. Don't think less, think beyond. She said that they used spears. She was trying to tell you that the ancestors, our ancestors who fought, they were not so stupid to organize themselves and fight against something that they couldn't fight for. They couldn't fight against. That means that the Africans, because of just those harsh treatments, they just wanted to reduce the harsh treatment by changing the regime. If they had the vision of fighting against colonialism, they would have taken a lot more time further so that they could organize themselves very well to the extent that they could fight against the Germans, and they would do so in going to the war. But because they fought that, and they knew that Germans were more powerful than themselves, and they knew that they were very weak, that's why they just decided to take the step of making the Germans reduce the harsh treatment and change the colonial, and change the regime that existed. That's why after the war, the regime that came to take place over the control, they reduced the treatments like land alienation. People, they were very, at the first time, we can see in the plantations of cotton, people, they were very highly exploited. But after